I'm in a wind tunnel here. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the hair. I was supposed to shower last night and I didn't, and I wasn't planning on filming today. So let me turn off the fans because it's like hot enough to have fans on, but not hot enough to put AC in yet. You know how it is. But I don't want the fan noise bugging us. So Eric from the future here. I'm just dropping in real quick because when I filmed this video, let me check. Is there any reason to check this freaking mane of hair? I'm going real gray over here. Pretty psyched on that. Anyway, so when I filmed this video, the only versions of these snaps, so this video focuses on the new magnetic closures that Buckleguy sells. It's what we use on the Oracle wallet. It is basically replacing a line 20 or a line 24 snap. And it has a registration dot right there, snaps right into place, and it is a, in my opinion, much better choice for thinner leathers because over time, and I'm talking 10, 15 years, what can happen is a stronger snap can pull through the leather if you're using like 3-ounce leather, whereas this snap, because it's magnetic, you just pop it off, but it's strong enough that you can hear it. Snaps closed, stays closed. When we filmed this video, they only had the 14 and 18 millimeter versions. They become so popular for Buckleguy, which tells you something, that they just released the 10 and 12 millimeter versions, which are smaller this week, I believe, to the point where I don't even have them. So I'm releasing this video because it's just a simple bracelet, but it shows you the perceived value. If you go to all your craft fairs this summer, in the fall, it's that season. One of the first things they tell you when you sell a house is to replace anything you can touch. Don't worry about repainting walls and stuff, but replace the doorknobs, replace the handles, because people are going to walk in and they're going to feel the doorknobs and be like, wow, this is solid. Even though it's just a new doorknob, it's the least you can do. Anything tactile that people come into contact with that you can improve upon. Now, of course, you hold a whole wallet, but we know the leathers that we use. It's the hardware. It's the adding little details like small rivets, little things like that. I'm going to show you in this video on just a simple bracelet how you can use this magnetic closure to essentially make a modern slap bracelet. Like when we were all kids and then they outlawed them because they were made out of like old measuring tapes that would cut people. This is as close to a slap bracelet as I've ever gotten. And I think it's probably as close as I care to get. But it is so nice that I don't usually use a lot of the pieces that I make because we make so many pieces. I only have use for, a few of them. I usually put them in grab bags or give them away or whatever. This bracelet I've actually been wearing, and I wear a watch and that's it. But I've actually been wearing this bracelet just because the feel of this closure. It may be $1, but you can upsell $5, $6 on a bracelet with this type of closure because it feels that much more upscale. So, apologize for the hair. Apologize for the wind tunnel. Hopefully the fans being off helped. But I just wanted to pop in and tell you that because this video was filmed a couple months ago when the first batch came out. Now we have smaller versions that I can't wait to get my hands on, and I'm sure you'll see in other videos. Links is going to be first link in the description to pick some up, and I would highly suggest getting the setters. They're very affordable. You can get the hand version. You can get the version that goes into one of the machines. But it's a 3-piece setting system. Sits it perfect every time, and it takes 2 seconds. And they're slimmer too, so you can kind of like weasel them in. If you forget to install one, you can kind of weasel one in a little bit easier than a line 20 or line 24. So I would say this is going to replace, these magnetic closures are going to replace probably about 50% of the time that I definitely probably won't be using line 20s much anymore. Line 24s I use mil-spec version line 24s that are actually weight bearing, so I can use those to like hold things onto belts. But for stuff like this, would highly suggest it. And I'm not one to hard sell you. You know what I'm saying? If I find something that I'm like, well, this is a game changer. Now I'm sure these have existed for many years, but now they're available to us, and it's just a button snap on the back, so you don't have to line anything. And you'll see in this video, I make a simple bracelet, but you'll see just how high quality and how simple this is to make, which is not something that we've seen in the past. Even with line 20s, even with line 24s, even with any snap, you always have the backs of the snaps that aren't smooth, very smooth. I think this is the right response to that. So, Eric from the future out. Enjoy the video. So this is going to be one of those videos that either sounds like I'm going on a salesman tirade or like a kid on Christmas, because I've been trying to make a leather slap bracelet for years, and this is as close as I've gotten, and it's as close as I care to get. I didn't even know Buckleguy sold these, and not only do they sell these, they also sell a full setting set for either the hand die or the machine die for 42 bucks. These are thin leather magnets. They come unclipped like this, and I'm going to show you today via a bracelet how to install them and how cool they are. So that's it. First thing we need to do is talk about sizing. They make a 14 millimeter and an 18 millimeter version of this. The way these work, most magnets that I've encountered in the leather crafting space, the issue I have with them is that they use like prongs on the back, so you always have to line it with something. What Buckleguy did here is they took, I have a hard time getting these apart, but they also do, this peels off, so it makes it a little easier. It also keeps it nice and scratch free. What they did was they made a slim, this is 14 millimeter, there's an 18 millimeter as well, magnet that has a male and a female part, so they always line up perfectly. And then they made the backside a simple rivet closure, which means we are able to now make easily removable things that have a nice button closure on the top and a nice button closure on the bottom. So today I'm going to show you how to install them, I'm going to show you how they work, and I'm going to show you the Genius setter set that they made that cost about 40 bucks that would allow you to make probably 300 of these bracelets in a day. And yeah, it's very, very cool. So the first thing we need is a piece of leather. Now, because these are only 14 millimeters, we don't have to make a huge bracelet, even for me. So I already did an edge side one. That's what it looks like. This is just going to be a sample, no edges. I'm going to cut a 3/4 inch strip. You could get away with going slimmer than that. You can see we have plenty of room on either side, but I just like 3/4 on my wrist. Make sure we're straight here. And this is about 5-ounce leather. But the posts are, I'll measure for you in a second. Your posts on these, about 8.5, 9 millimeter posts. So you can get that through a good chunk of leather. Bless you. I'm going to punch the ends off of this so that we can at least make something that someone can wear. Then we're going to go over the press, and a lot of this video is I'm going to be showing you how the press, how their die set works, how everything works. It's not going to be a long one. This is a quick one. I'm just very excited about this product because I think it's going to open up a lot of opportunity. Think about this as a closure on a coin purse inside of a wallet. They're so slim, doesn't have bulk. We're just showing you with a bracelet, mostly because this is as close to a leather, short of, how did they do it? Like measuring tapes that didn't work. Short of that, I'm going to call that a slap bracelet. That's easy, it's gorgeous, and it comes off real quick, and you're ready to go to bed or do whatever. So let me get a couple of punches in this, and we'll head over to the press. We're going to use it with their hand setter. This is the universal Buckleguy hand setter. Basically, you have your base. It slides in with just the most fulfilling slide ever. And then your top slides into your hand setter. And the cool thing about this is when you finally do get a press, all of these work the exact same on the press. You don't have to buy any, all your dies are going to be, you can pick this up out of this, put it right into a press. This threads right into a press. And if you don't have the 200 bucks lying around, 40 bucks, solid stainless steel, highly recommended, and their dies are the cheapest on the market, and they're very, very high quality. So the first thing we need, I am going to take one of our studs, and I'm going to use my rotary tool, and I'm going to find the hole that is the smallest while still fitting that post, which is going to be that one. I'm going to post it, or I'm going to punch it right here, like that. Now with this layout, you're going to want one of each side facing up. And the one side that faces, the cap faces up, that's going to be your top side. So if you're tooling or you're doing anything like that, you want to be cognizant of the fact that the top of your bracelet is going to be the side that has the top cap on it, not that. It doesn't matter which magnet goes on which side. The polarity is correct, so you can put either on either. You want to remove this blue, and then all we're going to do.
Do you want to keep it on before you punch it so it doesn't scratch?
I haven't, but if you want to, yeah, sure. I like to take it off because it lets me get a little bit. It lets me set it as close as I can, which is a silly thing. It probably doesn't make any difference, but that's how I've been doing it. Your setter has 3 sections. Your setter has the part you screw into the handle, and then it has the female and the male section, which coincide with the male and the female section of the magnet itself. And I apologize, I wish I had different words to the up and the down section, whatever. It feels a little antiquated to call it male and female section, but it is what it is. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take our male section, we're going to pop that in, it lines up perfectly. Our top part is basically just a rivet cap that you would get with any other rivet. And that's it. You don't need to go overboard. You just want to make sure that that's nice and it's not loose or anything. Mine's moving around a little tiny bit. So I'm going to give it a few more taps. I think that's because this is not fully threaded on. And this is also nice because it's self-centering as well. And we're on, and we're super, super slim. So now for the next side, we're going to pull this out. We're going to put this one in. Because this side sits in like this. Now most importantly, you're going to want to make sure that you're not putting your cap on the same side as your cap here. You want to make sure that the magnet goes face up on this one. And then we'll put our cap in on the bottom. And this is also really nice because it's very comfortable on your skin. The cuff that we made a few weeks ago, anytime you can get a cap on your skin, it's going to be much more comfortable than, say, a single cap rivet where you have those flayed out pieces. For long-term wear, it's going to wear in better, it's going to be comfortable, it's just better overall. And there we go. And it's gorgeous. I mean, they did such a good job. Their finishing is always great, but I like to use the female end as my top piece here, and the male end locks in. It's just easier to line up. This is a small bracelet. But if you want it, I don't think there's a right way to do this. And so let's go over to the Buckleguy press if you happen to have one, and I'll show you how just to install these. You guys probably already know, but we'll just do a quick little segment and I'll show you how it's done. The cool thing about Buckleguy's die system is that you can step up as you can afford to. So all we're going to do is undo the press, the top of the press piece from the handle, and we're going to screw it into the press itself. And that's going to stay there no matter what piece we're setting. So we can set that aside. Next, this base, this just slides out from here and goes right in there. Like that. And we're ready to go. So this is the die setting for the male side, and that's the side that I like to keep on the bottom. So all I'm going to do is put my male setting on the bottom, my cap on the top. I'm going to lock that into the die. That's going to self-center for me. And that's it. And then to switch it out, you don't have to touch this at all. We're just going to put in the setting for the female setting. Remember, We have our cap on this side, so we want our actual fitting on this side. We put our cap on this side. Pop that guy in there. Everything is self-centering. There we go. Now, it's a cat bracelet maybe, but you can see everything is centered. Everything works perfectly. It's the perfect strength magnet for a bracelet, a small closure, etc. And it works perfectly whether you're using the hand tool set or you upgrade to the press. With the 14 millimeter version, perfect size for a 3/4 inch strap, which to me is just, unless you're teeny tiny, a very nice size. You can also still go down. There's still room to shave a couple of millimeters off of this, but for me, it's nice and thin. I'm not a bracelet wearer usually. Nice and thin. The other thing that I like is I work in a workshop. If this were to get caught in something, it's quick release. It's going to come off. That's it. I love our Scoville snaps, but they're mil-spec. They're designed to not come off. So for working in a place where you might get your jewelry caught in something, this is a really great piece of hardware to use. I like that it stays really slim on the outside. It's very minimal. It just looks like a snap. And I really love how slim these pieces are. Now, again, like I said, I'm either going to sound like someone who finally found their perfect piece of hardware or a salesman. In this one, it doesn't matter because I think this is a piece a lot of people have been looking for and didn't realize exists like me. The link will be in the description to purchase these. They have a 14 millimeter version, which is what this is. They have an 18 millimeter version, which is this, but 18 millimeters in case you want to make bigger bracelets. The packaging, if you want to zoom in on that, that's what we're using. And it will look like it doesn't come with the caps, but it's because everything's magnetic in here. So you got to pull everything apart and you'll see your pieces. That's pretty much it. That's going to be it for this one. It was a quick video, just an intro to a piece of hardware that I found that Buckleguy carried that had never been really heavily mentioned that I thought you guys would like to see. And yeah, it's really cool. I would pick up a bag of them, play around with them. There's a lot of cool things. I'm excited to see what you guys come up with having this sort of hardware now to use. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.